The big news today was the passing on of former Zimbabwe strongman and president Robert Gabriel Mugabe in Singapore. Now, many people don't know this, but the late president had been battling prostate cancer for a very long time. Still, Mugabe lived a full life. I mean, somebody who died just a couple of years before clocking a century on this earth. That's a very long life. And fascinatingly, opinion is sharply divided, over how to eulogize Mugabe. There are some who look at him as the tyrant and dictator he was during his rule of Zimbabwe from 1980. And then there are the others. Us Africans never talk ill of the dead. All the dead are heroes. Anyway, there are the others who stubbornly choose to think of Mugabe and to remember him as the liberator and freedom fighter he was. A man who ended up paying a very high price, fighting for a better Zimbabwe. He was jailed for 10 years. He spent 10 years behind bars in his fight for a better Zimbabwe. And as a result, many people put him on the same level as legendary Nelson Mandela. And naturally, that debate will continue for a long time. Well, I choose not to join in that debate, but instead to focus on something super fascinating connected to Mugabe. And we'll start by asking a very simple question. How did such a powerful dictator, fall from power? Now, the answer to that question is very relevant to Kenya today. And it has a very important political lesson, that can even help us to predict the future. What could happen in future in Kenya. Oh yes, I kid you not. But before we come to that, I have a very important announcement to make. The latest Club 1999 video is going to be released very shortly, after this video is released on the public channel. And I just wanted to give you a heads up, because it is very explosive. Let me just put it this way, because the information is very sensitive. There are things which are happening, in the corridors of power, behind the scenes, where the high and mighty operate, that should be of great concern to every Kenyan. And you will quickly find out what these alarming developments are by taking in the latest Club 1999 video. Now, we have a special offer that is just winding up. In this amazing offer, by purchasing an ebook I wrote in 2013, shortly after the 2013 presidential elections. The book is called Mystery Monday, Unlocking the Secrets Behind the 2013 Presidential Polls. Indeed, some people have told me that what I wrote in that book in 2013 has proved to be very prophetic, when you look at what is happening in Kenya today, and especially what happened in Kenya in 2017. Now, when you purchase this ebook, for $12.50 only, or 1,250 Kenya shillings, I will be able to give you free subscription, 6 months free subscription to Club 1999. And then you can take in this latest, very hot Club 1999 video. I believe you can see all the information you need on your screens right now. I highly recommend that you act right away. This is an amazing offer to sneak into Club 1999 for 6 months, free. To be honest, I don't know when we'll ever have another offer like this one, so take full advantage of it. And there's more. When you become a member of Club 1999, immediately become a member, you receive all the past sensitive videos. I believe there are 46 highly sensitive videos you'll receive. The stuff in those videos can keep you indoors the whole weekend. Even if you're on a beach somewhere in Mombasa. I kid you not. Anyway, back to Mugabe. Now, let me start by stating something that will shock many of you. The reason why Mugabe fell from power, such a powerful dictator, is the same reason that powerful, unbeatable Kanu fell from power in Kenya in 1992. And it has something to do with, wait for this one, succession politics. Now, forget about 1992 for a moment, although I've already mentioned it. Let us focus on now, the here and now. What is Kenya going through right now? Succession politics. Oh yes, since shortly after the elections, people have been talking about nothing else but 2022, who will succeed President Uhuru Kenyatta. Na hii mambo ya succession ndo iliangusha Mugabe. Well, let me tell you the story. After the passing on of Mugabe's first wife, Sally Mugabe, mother of the nation, the president of Zimbabwe remarried, in a grand wedding that Zimbabwean newspapers called the wedding of the century. And he married his typist. Oh yes, his former typist. A woman who was at the time still married. She was called Grace Marufu. Or rather, she was born Grace Marufu, but got married to an Air Force pilot by the name of Stanley Goreraza. And they had a son together. But while she was still married to this man, she had children with the president. She was his mistress. Even when the president's wife was still alive. Now, just humor me for a minute, This is not gossip, We're building up to find out how Mugabe fell from power. And Grace Mugabe, his second wife, is a very key, character in this story. So that's why we're building it up from there. Now, according to many Zimbabwean political analysts, from the moment Grace became First Lady, her ambitions, were very clear. And indeed, they'll become clear to you in a minute. Now, the first person she focused on attacking was the then Vice President, Joyce Mujuru. And her attacks, over a number of years, finally succeeded. And this lady was removed from the Vice Presidency of Zimbabwe. And the person who took over is the current president, Emmerson Mnangagwa. But shortly after this man took over the Vice Presidency, Grace Mugabe still had a problem with him, accusing him of many things, even in public rallies. And when the First Lady finally succeeded, in getting Mnangagwa removed, and he was even fleeing into exile, it became crystal clear, even to the doubting Thomases, that all this was about the Mugabe succession. And Grace intended, she was serious about succeeding Mugabe as the president of Zimbabwe. To make matters worse, this succession talk must have been at the top of the mind of every Zimbabwean. Why? Because Robert Mugabe was already very old, virtually senile. Now, poor Grace, who is a former typist, definitely does not understand politics and definitely did not see the huge political danger she had worked herself into. And something very predictable happened next. The people who are responsible for keeping Mugabe in power, the military, the security apparatus, so to speak, in Zimbabwe, got very jittery. And actually what happened in Zimbabwe, that people have called a military coup, everybody calls a military coup, was not actually a military coup. All it was is that the people who were responsible for propping up Mugabe and keeping him in power simply withdrew their support. They must have said something like, that woman takes over as president? No way. Apana. That cannot happen. And that is how Robert Mugabe fell from power. Very simple. Which is super fascinating because several foreign powers had poured money into Zimbabwe to remove Mugabe. They had been defeated. Strong opposition figures, Yeah, tried very hard, even defeated Mugabe in elections. Yeah, but failed to remove him. But something very simple, yeah, something which may have looked not important, did the trick. Yeah, a wife who was overambitious, yeah, felled the mighty Mugabe. Now it is very instructive that the old man, President Mugabe, former President Mugabe, was not charged. He was not arrested. Yeah, he was allowed to remain in his 24-bedroom mansion in Harare, Zimbabwe. What? What does somebody do with 24 bedrooms? And the Zimbabwean strongman continued living the lavish lifestyle he had always lived. He was untouched. That is, until he passed on earlier today in faraway Singapore, where he was fond of going for treatment. Back to Kenya. And the lesson we need to take away from this, because in 1992, many people withdrew their support. Many key, powerful people withdrew their support from KANU, because former President Moi had anointed Uhuru Kenyatta, a then political rookie, to be his successor. Many people withdrew their support from KANU, and that's how KANU fell. The lesson to take away is that during a succession, if the person in power seems to support, they don't even have to declare that person. As long as they seem to support, a person who is not acceptable, then the chances are that the results could be unpredictable. Let me just leave it at that. Until next time, this is Chris Kumekucha.